So I started practicing gratitude again recently, and I forgot how much of a positive impact it has on my mood and how good it can actually make me feel. You, well, to me, if you say, you're gonna write a list and think about what you're grateful for, it, it doesn't really sound like it would make that big of a difference. But I picked it up here again recently, and it took about maybe 3 or 4 days of just every morning. I have this little notebook, and I would just fill a page full um, of everything I'm grateful for. And after 3 or 4 days, there was a noticeable increase in my happiness levels, basically. Um, and that's because our minds kind of work like the algorithm. So whatever we focus on, we'll start to experience more of. And that's why it's so easy to get stuck in stress and feeling like life is shitty, because as humans we have this natural negativity bias that has kept us safe. Um, but now it doesn't really serve us when we're constantly being stressed out by emails and work and things that aren't actually life threatening, yet our body is responding to the stress in the same way it would as if a predator is chasing you. So yeah, we have to consciously put forth the effort to cultivate positive emotions if that's the experience we're wanting to have. I'm not saying to ignore the negative. You have to feel your feelings, obviously. It's very important. But part of the work is also cultivating happiness and cultivating the shift where our minds start highlighting the good in our life. When I first started practicing gratitude, I couldn't think of more than 5 things to be grateful for. I really, really struggled with it. And the thing that actually helped me to cultivate gratitude at that time was kind of doing like this reverse gratitude practice. So this was where I was contemplating losing what I had, because there's a lot we take for granted, and it's not until we lose it that we realize how great it was. So if that's where you at, maybe you could think about losing your electricity or your water, something that you have but you don't think about much. If that thing gets taken away, you'd be sad. It would suck. And so instead you can be like, I'm so grateful I have this. And at first, you might not feel much of an effect, but I promise the more you practice this, the more your emotional state will start to change.